Greetings everybody, this is Anthony Anderson from rawmodel.com and Blackbird Naturals. I'm here with Nick Stern, aka Nature Boy from Sunwarrior. Nick, man, good to see you.
Good to see you here.
How have you been?
Been great.
I've been a fan for many years.
Good.
I just want to thank you for bringing that product to the marketplace. Just seeing the evolution of where you guys are now, it's just totally legit. Where was the inspiration coming from?
Inspiration, in fact, David Wolf introduced me to my partner that I have right now. So we met him at the Raw Spirit Festival, and it's funny. When I was there, my partner Brent goes, "Wow, you look a little bigger," because I was an ex-bodybuilder back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the journey when I started, I was into juicing, and I was like 13, bought my first blender. So I started getting into juicing, fasting at an early age.
Yeah.
Then the 1970s start rolling around. You know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger pumping iron.
Right.
You totally get brainwashed. You know,
Right.
oh, I want to put some muscles on.
Yeah.
Totally went away from my roots.
Okay.
And how I got the name Nature Boy is all my friends. I used to play semi-professional baseball. And all my friends like, "What are you juicing?" But this is back like 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
You know, nobody was really juicing back then. And the name Nature Boy stuck with me way back then. So all my friends on my baseball, on our team and that used to call me, "Hey, Nature Boy." You know, so that's how the name stuck. But going into the 70s, I started the passion, the bodybuilding. You know, bug hit me when pumping iron came out. I said, "Let me give this a shot."
Yeah.
And everything I learned about juicing and fasting and all that kind of went away from my roots. And started the bodybuilding diet. You know, the 6 meals a day, heavy animal-based protein. You know.
Okay.
The logic's good to make you look cosmetically good, but internally it starts catching up to you. So when I started hitting my mid-40s, you know, I still had the passion to train hard, but my body was stiff, starting to break down. I felt kind of toxic, and I said, "No, this isn't working." I could almost feel my body aging in my mid-40s. You know, so I'm going to be 59 this year. So actually, I feel like I really haven't aged much since I converted back more to a plant-based diet.
Right.
So that's kind of the logic. When I started going more into the plant-based diet again, I wasn't happy. You know, the proteins I were taking didn't taste good to me.
Yes.
And I was always racking my brain. You know, a lot of these proteins are good, spirulina and hemp and all that, but kind of after a while, it's just I want to look forward to having something that tasted good. And that's kind of how Sunwarrior evolved. We start researching rice proteins, but it's got to be done in a certain way where it's biofermented, raw. We take all the carbohydrates out, we break it down with enzymes.
Okay.
So when it's biofermented, it's more bioavailable.
That's why I like you guys so much.
Yeah, and so when I first took it the first month, I put on like about 5 pounds of muscle because I trained hard. There's a correlation of training hard, and if you take the protein, a little trick I do to start putting muscle on is I have good plant-based protein every 3 hours, and it's called positive nitrogen retention. What that does is it puts you in a positive state to grow muscle, if that's your goal. You know, so whether you're in a cleaning regimen or whatever, you have to kind of know what your goal is. So my goal was to start putting some muscle I lost by going into a vegetarian, a plant-based diet. My body started getting cleansed, but all of a sudden I wasn't getting that strength. My strength started coming down a little bit. My body was really converting over and getting more alkaline. So the protein was a gift because I loved the taste of it, and I could mix superfood smoothies with my berries in there and doctor it up with superfoods. So now I always interchange my smoothies. My diet actually evolved to almost a 75% liquid nutrition.
Okay.
And I usually eat my meal at night, and I kind of want to unwind by the end of the day. So I'm at the point where liquid nutrition works for me, so I vary my protein shakes. And I have greens and stuff too, but I try to keep the same philosophy in bodybuilding, you know, every 3 hours, but now it's plant-based.
Yeah.
Versus the heavy animal-based products and that, because my body was stiffening up, the joints and that. A lot of the uric acid meat, you don't really eliminate it, from what I gather. And I talked to a guy, his name was Bill Pearl. He had the same problem. When he hit his mid-40s, his joints and that. I mean, so he went to more of a lacto-ovo-vegetarian. And you can't put muscle on a plant-based diet. You're just going to be, you know, a little more organize in what you're doing with your approach. If you want to put on muscle, I recommend having protein, some source of protein every 3 hours, plant-based though.
Okay.
So that's my little tricks that I've done.
Immediately after a workout? Is there a window?
Window of opportunity, they call that. Yeah, that's when I kind of load up, and that's when I have most of my fruit is right after, because it loads the glycogen back into the muscle.
Sure.
What I like is a good fat, our protein, and some good carbs and antioxidants. That's the ideal meal for me after a workout. So basically after my workout, I usually take a coconut with the water and the meat, 2 scoops of our protein, Then I started doctoring up with tocotrinos, camelberry powder.
Okay.
I live in Florida, so I have mangoes, papayas. I have all my organic berries. What I do, I freeze them. I have like containers in my fridge. I make my smoothies like ice cream. What I want to do, I want to chew my smoothies. So what I do, I actually put cacao nibs and goji berries. So now I actually eat my smoothie. I haven't really changed that much in 2 years. I don't get sick of that. For some reason, my body just sucks it up. So that's one of my smoothies right after the workout. That's I put all my berries and Anax and Superfoods. That's one of them. And then during the day, I change them. Sometimes I might have a cacao, maca, and a Sunwarrior protein. A little different mixture, different type of flavor there. Sometimes I put our Ormus greens with our proteins midday, maybe spinach in there. It's like I'm changing them up, different amino acid structure arrays. Sometimes I'll throw bee pollen in there. So I'm always kind of interchanging. That works for me. So and allows for rebuilding very quick. I never have a bad workout. So if the goal is to put on muscle, that's my strategy. Smaller feedings. Now, if you're cleansing, no, I don't do that. But that's kind of, for building muscle, that's my little trick on a plant-based diet.
All right.
In fact, a little trick, I'm doing something called the PAT Project. I got a guy that's on the standard American diet, and he was 352 pounds. He's 250. I just called him today. I got him in a training protocol. He said, you got to break 210 by the time I get back.
He started at what?
352.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He tripled his strength. He's starting to get a V shape. He looked like a big pear.
Yeah.
So it's called the PAT Project. If anybody wants to see that, it's the PAT Project. I got some training tips.
Is there a website for that? Is it on?
Yeah, it's. I'm building a personal website for him. He's going to be like almost our Jared, like for Subway. He's going to be our Sunwarrior poster boy.
Right.
I'm going to put abs on this guy. He had a 60-inch waist.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't get the tape measure. So the scale went only up to 350. The scale kind of topped out. He was over 350. So we're estimating 352.
Okay.
When I left Florida, he was about 216 or so. So I want him like under 210 when I get back. I'm going to be down in California here. So I got him on a goal, and I'm interchanging his workout programs. Sometimes he's only doing long endurance, sometimes he's doing the sprints. He could do the sprints in the beginning. He had a hard time walking.
Sure.
But I'm gradually building him like a machine, because there's a correlation of strength and cardiovascular health, and moving your body, there's a correlation. Your body becomes a better, efficient machine if you do the right training. And I'll have all those tips on there, kind of what he's going through, how I taken him.
Really helpful.
His skin is not sagging. He lost like 130, 40 pounds already.
Yeah.
He doubled it, tripled his strength. So he's putting muscle on. So normally you don't get stronger when you lose that kind of weight. You get weaker.